prepare for the most comprehensive deep dive we've ever done for the biggest game we've ever built.
Okay, here we go.
So sit tight and enjoy Starfield Direct.
Yeah, this obviously got to be like the biggest first-party exclusive for Xbox that's ever been made. Like, because all the other ones by Bethesda and all the other ones of this scale have been for all platforms. Okay, here we go. Let's put a countdown, even though it's 7 seconds. All right, let's do this. It's like 7 seconds until the end in Sephiroth's voice. Get out of here if you don't care about the Starfield event. Get the fuck out. Yeah, we'll check this out. I'm very curious, right? Want to know all those like nitty-gritty details about the game and how they're going to be going about, you know, playing through this world, what the loop is like, and more about like all the optional planets they're designing. Like, wasn't there some crazy number, like 1,000 of them?
Thank you so much for joining us today. And
hey, what's up, Todd?
Bethesda Game Studios. You know, we've been
Let's
so
go.
lucky
Looking forward to
over
the sweet little lies.
kind of games that we love here, and that's thanks to all of you. From the Elder Scrolls to Fallout, we love creating these worlds and playing in them just as much as you do. And throughout all that time, we'd often talk about and dream up the space game. What if we could take that feeling of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space?
Say what you will about Bethesda, but their music has always been killer.
Or what you could do, and that is Starfield. Obviously, we've come a long way since
Let's
then.
go Oblivion.
The games we've built, our technology.
It's like my favorite Bethesda game ever.
We've done so much together, but well, we've never tried to make a game like this. Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much of what we think makes our game special. So let's jump in and take a look.
All right, sounds good, Todd. Sounds good, old Toddy. Show me them sweet little mountains.
It's our first
Ooh.
new universe in over 25 years, but it's still a Bethesda RPG through and through, where you step into
It
a
looks
new
good.
world and you get that feeling of unlimited possibilities.
Like visually,
But this time, it's not just one world.
doesn't look really plasticky anymore
It's over
like
1,000 worlds.
most of the Creation Engine
The
games.
choice of where to go, it's not ours, it's yours.
Wow.
And it wasn't until now that we had the technology to create it.
Okay.
From the rocks at your feet to the mountains in the distance, to the people and creatures that live in these worlds.
I see there's a lot of
That isn't
diversity
just
with
a
the
backdrop.
biomes.
That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too.
Like how every single open world game trailer needs to obligatorily have that.
Galaxy around you.
You see that little planet there? You can go there.
Next generation lighting model uses real-time global illumination.
See that
to
little
light the
mountain? You can
world
go
based
there.
on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere. We also have an all-new animation system. And of course, you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person.
Yep. Trademark of Bethesda games. It's one of the things I really liked about their
We
games.
love exploration and
Play
rewarding.
whatever
but
angle you
do
want.
explore differently in this game, given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources.
I'm a huge sucker for this kind of mechanic. I don't know
do a
why. It's just so
mission,
fun.
and maybe even stumble upon something unexpected.
Just like laser mining for shit and collecting resources. I do that all the time in Tears of the Kingdom. I love doing that in No Man's Sky with my friends and stuff. It was a good time. All right, so here's some of that combat. We saw a little bit of this. Looks pretty generic, right? Generic first-person shooting. But even though it may look generic, the main thing is it fun, right? That's a real question you gotta ask. Like, how does it feel? Like, okay, cool. That's a cool looking bullet. It like pulls the enemy towards like walls and shit.
Love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up, and you can view all that
Cola flask.
in your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory.
Huh.
We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons to spacesuits to food. We just obsess over the details.
That's cool, man.
Food. We obsess over
They're
food.
like really trying to
When you're done
go in on all the little
exploring,
details.
you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
And he can even say your name.
Yeah, of
Let's
course.
head out.
They brought back the thing from Fallout 4 where you got a little robot who can say whatever name you put in. As long as it's a common name.
Was to convey the wonder and majesty of space exploration, to evoke the romance of the golden age of early spaceflight. And we've been referring to this approach as NASA Punk. This means a design
NASA
language
Punk.
where the tech is advanced, yet still looks grounded and relatable.
For us, it's that contrast. That's where the visual interest is.
Makes sense.
Obviously, the NASA, which is the rigid, hard function over style, and then Punk, which is all about style.
Neat.
You can see that
It's like a
visual
fusion.
style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home for you and your crew. And like many of the spaces in our game, it has
NASA
a
Punk, I like
slightly
that.
retro and analog touch. A bit of lo-fi rather than sci-fi, where everything is well used, worn, and lived in.
Alrighty. What's the plan, Captain?
This is your star map. It starts with the planet you're currently on. You can see all of its info and resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations. Backing out further, you can view all the planets in the system. Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions, or life on them, versus the many planets that are barren but resource-heavy. Zoom out
cool,
even
man.
further to see all the systems
I like
in this
that.
part of the galaxy. Here, you can plot a course to ones that are light years away. This uses your ship's grav drive to fold
damn.
space and jump to these systems. And you will need to upgrade your ship and skills if you want to jump to the most distant ones.
It's kind of like No Man's. It's very much so like No Man's Sky.
Centauri system, where we can find the city of New Atlantis.
And they definitely took a lot of notes from that game's book. And especially considering that the latest version of No Man's Sky, like in the more recent years, like the latest versions have been quite incredible, like really fun. That's actually kind of music to my ears, I won't lie. It's like a Bethesda game with a No Man's Sky coat of paint in some areas. And I like that view of like the scale and, you know, the vastness of that map, the galaxy map and the system map. Reminds me of No Man's Sky and also a bit of the Mass Effect games, except with those, whereas you could only mine in those games, you know, for resources like shoot probes, you can actually go to them in this.
Your eyes are
Very
guided
neat.
upwards to just these boundless, vast buildings.
It's the biggest city we've ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
So the main focus when we're designing a city is obviously what supports the story. We try and tell as many small stories as possible.
This is a colony war memorial.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
It's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee.
It's also where your adventure with
NPCs.
Constellation begins.
The most important part of the games. How memeable are they? How stupid do they walk and talk? The stupider the better.
Welcome to
The stupider the more
Constellation.
iconic and
We
legendary.
have a lot to talk about.
By the time you meet them, Constellation is sort of seen as this mythical group. Most people don't even know they exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you. The artifact, if you could place it on the table here.
Oh my god, look at how it's coming together.
There's a set built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo, the theologian who believes that there's definitely something else out there. Noel, the gifted scientist and Sarah Morgan's protege. And Walter, a very successful businessman in the settled systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's
What's
also
up?
Vlad,
Okay,
the
buddy,
ex-pirate,
chicanery.
Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise
I like their
irresistible
names.
charm.
The journey you take with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories, people, and adventures for you to uncover.
So the premise is you're basically curious about what's out there in space. Cool, man. I like it. It's simple. And then everything goes from there.
The United Colonies is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first major human settlement in space. The people who live here value law, discipline, and the legacy of humanity. They consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining
the Imperial City?
Help the United Colonies, even get your UC citizenship?
New Atlantis isn't the only city within the United Colonies. The city of Cydonia on Mars to this day serves as the largest mining facility for the United Colonies.
It's just like a very rich world, right?
Beyond the United Colonies reach,
I like that.
You might find yourself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems. This is Freestar Collective Space.
Oh.
The capital of the Freestar Collective is Aquila City.
The Stone Route
like something out of a
is an
Western.
Aquila City fixture.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
Neon started out as a fishing platform, but is now known throughout the Settled Systems as a pleasure city, where almost anything goes.
If you've got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow.
Everyone has been chewed up and ground up by Neon. Try not to get yourself killed, all right?
Looks awesome. They're really trying to flex how much diversity there is with the various aesthetics and biomes and all that kind of thing. All that kind of stuff.
Hostile factions in the galaxy.
The great serpent hungers. All heathens shall be made dust in time.
Like aesthetically, there's a lot of variation.
This is the face of a brave
It looks very richly detailed in terms of world building.
They think the galaxy is theirs.
That's always important in open world games.
It belongs to the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
But how much can we as a player interface
Pushing our cities and
with the stuff presented?
further than we ever have before.
That's the main
It's
question.
All there, waiting for you. A slice of humanity's future.
Damn.
So, ready to get out there?
The biggest thing you want to avoid in this kind of game is having it be as wide as an ocean but as deep as a puddle, right?
Things to see
And so far it's very wide. And they're kind of like, you know, demystifying a lot of its depth, which is nice to see.
I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see all of the improvements we've made.
One of the biggest overhauls was done through our character generation system. We scanned a wide range of faces from different age groups and ethnicities. And by mixing
Cool.
and matching all that data, we were able to create highly detailed and diverse characters.
The characters look much better than usual for Bethesda
all the
games.
characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game. So any character you see almost always is a character you could make yourself.
I still don't know if they're using the same engine though or not. Is this still the creation engine but a really updated version of it, or is it just something brand new? I hope it's the latter, right?
Take it easy.
Because that thing
You
looks
were out cold.
way too outdated and
No
redundant at
physical
this point.
damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know
Or
who
obsolete.
you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
You start your character creation journey as though you're cycling through employee records.
Okay, so
You'll
Creation
click from a
Engine
lineup of
2,
40
I just looked it up.
presets, and that'll be your starting point.
So they're still using the same engine, they just
Your
updated
journey
it a
from
whole
there
bunch.
can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
It's also the simplest character generation system we ever had. We let the player get as close as possible to make whatever they want. With the various facial morphs you can blend together, the dermesthetic and makeup, blemishes, scars, piercings, teeth settings. It's a lot, but I think it's the most fun to use.
Character
So
creation
uncanny.
is more than just how you look. This
They
is
look-
also
they
when
look
you start to
okay,
decide, 'Decide,
right? Who you wanna be.
Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. This is also when you start to decide who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Who you want to be. That's where ba
They don't look groundbreaking, revolutionary,
And
but
start you out with 3 basic skills.
From chef to dusty. You know, the crew still has a
it's
betting
decent.
pool about
It's good.
which
It's a
restaurant
Bethesda game, all right. We'll put it at that.
Here.
What's
When
great
it comes
about
to
backgrounds
characters.
is you never know when yours is going to come in handy. You could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant talking to some guy, and suddenly you learn he needs a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably
Yeah.
should stick to professional
The facial
things,
animations,
given what
man.
happened the last time.
This is a Bethesda game through and through.
Customize your build even further by
They just
letting
like
you
have
pick up to
that
3
dead
traits.
stare, that
Traits
dead
are completely
expression.
optional, and they come with
Camera
their own
zooms in on their
advantages
face and they say some shit.
disadvantages. You could choose to meet your biggest fan.
Oh my god. No way. They brought back the annoying fan, or the adoring fan from Oblivion.
Believe I get to stand near you, breathing the same air.
I've got to have every
Even the same voice actor and the mannerisms and the lines. Holy shit.
Parents, but they're very
That's cool.
sweet, and it's really fun to go visit
That's
them.
very wholesome.
Honey, we got ourselves a visitor.
Oh my god!
I came across some hostile zealots in space, but because I had chosen a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
There's another great one that gives you a damage buff when your health is low, but mercenaries will randomly show up and try to kill you. No matter what you choose, there will be plenty of ways for you to tell your story. And if you want to remove
Dialogue,
the trait,
yeah.
there are ways to do that too.
What a view! It's a feast for the eyes. Off we go to another adventure.
No way. Even
We'll let you discover that.
I
on
like
your
that,
own.
man. I like how they put that little snippet in there of you trying to like abuse the adoring fan in a plethora of ways, right? Most common of which being shooting him off a cliff or kicking him off a cliff or whatever.
Once you've
That's
built
great.
the perfect character,
I like that little nod.
really begin. We took what we loved about skills and perks from our previous games and put them together to create an all-new skill system. Each time you level up, you get a skill point,
Of course.
which can be used to unlock or rank up skills.
Okay, yeah, so here are the different trees.
Ranks are unlocked by completing challenges associated with that skill.
Oh. Lockpicking.
Challenges become increasingly difficult as you work your way to higher ranks.
Cool.
With our 5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill, there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. So you have like sub ranks within each unique
It
skill.
lets you mind control aliens.
Boost pack
That's
out
neat.
of the gate. I'm boost packing everywhere.
Yeah, so you got various different playstyles of what they're alluding to, which is kind of nice.
Out my physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my way through combat.
Not bad. We saw a little bit of the dialogue too earlier. I was gonna say, like, their dialogue has gotten really shallow over the years in their games.
Suit your playstyle.
Like New Vegas by Obsidian was like the best I've seen ever out of
I'm
anything.
out there pickpocketing everyone.
So I hope
Favorite
that
part about being stealthy is slowly creeping through vents like you're in a movie.
I hope the dialogue becomes more richly layered again with many different options.
Whenever possible, I like to talk my way through situations.
This area's off limits. Fine, I'll issue you an access card.
I'm more of a run and gun player. I like doing the death from above thing where I boost pack over guys and I throw landmines at them.
Neat. Combat looks
I like
fun.
blowing stuff up.
Right. It's something we haven't seen before in terms of abilities and stuff. Like, you do jetpack jumps, you know, mind control shit, all that. Punch people in the gut 10 gazillion light years away, and it's all that, all the same stuff, but it does, the main thing is it looks fun, it feels fun.
Aspect of all our games. In Starfield,
And it seems
there
that
are
way.
full star systems with new life, resources, and adventures. Our team worked hard to strike a balance between fun and realism. We studied data from NASA and a multitude of other sources to help us make the world feel believable.
That's awesome. Really did their
We
homework.
approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed biomes based on the planet's distance from the sun. Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all the things that make that world fun. When you leave a planet and head into space, you'll be navigating asteroid fields, having chance meetings with interesting strangers, dogfighting in space.
This is basically No Man's Sky.
Derelict ships.
It is a one-to-one No Man's Sky. The way
it's all out there.
The way flying works out in outer space with your ship, getting his dogfights and stuff.
It's about rewarding your curiosity, because whether it's on the surface of a planet, the alleys of a city, or the vastness of space, you never know what you'll find.
Cool. So lots of exploring to do. Exploration is key, right? That's kind of always been their philosophy in their games. Like guided exploration. They'll tell you where things are, but there's still
thanks to your ship.
a vast amount of like area to explore.
Character or home you can make all your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do. You can buy a ship.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Customize and upgrade that ship. And
Yeah,
hire a crew to keep it up and running.
They talked about this before too, ship
It
customization.
all starts in spaceports.
Seems pretty deep,
Every
man.
spaceport has a ship technician where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round
Love
out your
how-
ship roster with a hulking space freighter to
I
run
still have to reiterate this, right? But I love how despite iterating on everything they've kind of like established over the years with all of their games
and make
and
some
trying to really push boundaries. Their facial animations are still something straight out of like 2011 or something like
and you have
that.
2 ways to do that.
But I
You can
guess it's
quickly
part of the
upgrade
charm now of a
individual
Bethesda
systems
game.
like your weapons or shields, or you can deep dive and enter the shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything, from the systems to the look and layout. Adding a new habitat module can give you more room for crew. Adding
that's sick.
cowling can change your ship's overall silhouette. An improved grav drive allows for longer distance space jumps. You can even fully customize your paint job to get the exact look you want.
Of course.
The parts you choose to build with don't just affect your ship's stats. They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship. You can have modules for crafting, or for storing and displaying
That is
your weapons.
very neat.
Starfield's in-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship.
I think that's probably the
Quarters to cargo
the
holds.
biggest thing that they have added to this game, right? That they've kind of presented here. In terms of being pretty innovative, right? Is just the extent, the sheer
Our
extent
modified Frontier is a practical ship.
to which, you
but
know,
with a little creativity, your ship can look like almost anything you want.
It's a bit odd, but one of my favorite ways
like the degree to which
customizing
ship
ships is,
customization actually affects, you know, gameplay itself. Usually that's not really a thing. This
HMS
stuff is mostly just for like aesthetic reasons in games, but
where it had a giant tail to it.
it's cool how this actually affects how you interact with the game. Right, and the stuff that you can do inside the ship and all that is just really cool. Like, bro, what the
And while you
fuck?
can build your home among the stars the way you want to,
That's cool.
You're probably not the only person who will call your ship home.
You can make it look as wacky as you want. That's very neat.
Ready to lift off when you are, Captain.
Engines ready.
The Frontier is fueled.
Yeah, the approach to shipbuilding and customization is definitely the most innovative shit in this.
Some of the members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Each companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
I don't know that I've ever really
So cool how you can recruit your own crew.
Except you.
And if you're looking for a little extra help on your ship, you can always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Got any room on your ship for someone like me?
You'll also meet potential crew members out in the world.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
Assign crew to your ship or outposts, and their unique
Jeez.
skills will affect how they run. And just like companions, most crew members can lend a hand in the field. Take Bosco, for instance.
He's designed
around the core basics of a NASA machine.
Please avoid getting shot. You might die.
I really, again, I love how they describe the aesthetic of the game. The style of it is NASA punk.
More human-like and give him a little personality.
It is a shame.
That's really clever.
Exploration requires so much bloodshed.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams.
Dang, man. Yeah, that is the biggest thing to come out of this entire direct, to me at least. Because everything else we've seen in some way, shape, or form, it's nothing new. We've seen it all in plenty of other games, plenty of other IPs. You know, both Bethesda games and whatever, but the stuff with the crew and the ship and how you interface with all of that, the way in which you do that, I don't think I've ever seen before in any other game that I've played.
We're putting you in the cockpit of your very own spaceship.
Like being able to build whatever kind of ship you want,
and that is really cool,
not just for like stylistic purposes and making it look cool and flashy, but also for gameplay
and you should feel like
recruiting whatever crew you want to
every step of the way.
Based on like the characters, NPCs you meet.
Extended that sense of control to ship combat. It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapons. It's a complex dance between your piloting skills and our power allocation system. Boosting power to your engines will make your ship faster. Powering up the ground drives will shorten the amount of time it takes before you can make a jump.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with your ships given how you customize them. Like, it's so neat how the parts aren't just for looks.
Shields means you're ready for a fight. You should always be on your toes because you're not alone out there.
Space combat looks really cool, man. It's basically No Man's Sky, but like really, you know, richly detailed.
Unlocking the targeting control system skill.
And hopefully it doesn't feel as clunky chasing down ships and shit like that.
Ship you target.
That was a big issue I had with No Man's Sky personally. Is, dude, so you felt literal motion sickness at times. At least I did, right? When you were trying to like track where the ships were and stuff to shoot at them.
After destroying an enemy ship, you can loot the remains from your cockpit.
Hopefully it's a lot less jarring in this.
Engages you into scrap. But you can also take a more personal approach by docking with the enemy vessel and boarding their ship.
Oh, that's sick. That's really fucking cool, actually. No way. I like that a lot. You don't have to dogfight them in space. You can kind of like approach him and then dock on there and get into proper first-person combat if you wanted to.
Add it to your fleet and retrieve it at any spaceport. But space is way more than fighting for your life.
Huh. Mining and shit, maybe? I take it?
Just like when you're planet side, there are plenty of sights to see and stops to make on the way to your next adventure.
Oh.
Like these massive star yards.
Wow.
Walk the halls, talk to the crew, maybe get talked into buying a whole new ship.
A civilian in my star yard.
I mean, like merchants out of what the fuck?
One worthy of you.
Maybe you'll dock with a gigantic battleship, like the UC Vigilance.
That was definitely a person.
Or rub elbows with the galaxy's wealthy elite on a cruise ship fit for the stars. There are plenty of personal encounters to be had as well. You can hail any ship you come across to trade, swap info, or maybe even commit.
I wonder if there's like
Let's do this.
When I'm playing, I generally go crazy. I definitely go like the more piracy routes. I want to take over ships.
I wonder if there's like a crime and bounty system.
This is now mine. I steal all the sandwiches and put them, you know, in my cargo hold that I have specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people as quickly as possible.
Okay. But if you just like randomly attack shit,
for a little human connection in the darkness of space.
you accumulate like a bounty.
Hello, stranger. I just finished cooking up some food.
Random.
You want to come on over? Just pop on by.
Some of the best moments are the ones you discover on your own. The thing I love most about Starfield is that it is a Bethesda game through and through.
That's what I
about
said.
Going to strange new places, meeting interesting people, and getting sidetracked on zany adventures. Then, realizing 2 hours later...
And NPCs making weird
new
faces.
story.
You're human.
There you go.
I thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
That DNA is so present here. It's in our random encounters, it's in our handcrafted quests. And it
I feel
feels
like if
so
this game
cool to
turns
play
out
and
shit
just
for
make
whatever
your own path
reason,
in this universe.
that clip is going to be used by so many people in meme videos.
Just waiting for you to visit.
Where he's like, this is a Bethesda game through and through, and then they show a montage of all the bugs.
You feel like explorers, breaking ground on new planets, exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy. We want you to feel hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe and wonder, and sometimes a little fear.
What the fuck? That's definitely crashing the game on day one.
Setting you free.
I'm calling it right now. I see a lot of blue screens of death. And just, I already feel the frame drops. I hate I have to say that, given how most modern game releases have gone.
We were showing you.
I hope I'm wrong.
We thought we'd just take a little break and show you something a little bit different. You know, we put so much detail into our game worlds, and we love the opportunity to bring that into the real world with our collector's editions. And
Of
for
course.
this game, we've done a watch. It is the Constellation Explorer's watch. This is the
That's
watch
fucking
that
cool.
you actually get in the game that acts as part of your HUD, where it's the compass and then environmental information. It connects to your phone to give you notifications and other information. And we've also designed this really cool case that it comes with.
That's a fucking cool collector's edition item, I'm not gonna lie. I have no interest in this, but that's fucking awesome.
Our attention to detail in the game totally translates.
They
to
made
this.
their own iWatch.
Inspired by the
What the
cases that
fuck?
the astronauts used during the Apollo era to bring back samples from the moon. It's got an intricate locking mechanism, authentic.
Damn,
heavy,
man.
Comes with a Constellation patch,
Oh,
NATO
boy.
strap, and the overall functionality and believability of this as something that would exist in the world.
That is fucking dope, right? I'll just say it.
Take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And even
It's not like a, you know, some kind of replica or, you know, model or anything. It's a legit
Now that we're part of
smartwatch.
we get to work with the amazing people on the Xbox hardware team, and together we have created this custom limited edition Starfield controller. It's awesome. It is now,
Oh,
you know,
sick.
our favorite controller.
We love this because it's inspired by the actual controls of your spaceship. And not only that,
It's a cool collector's
created
edition.
the first ever custom headset with Xbox. And this is a perfect pairing with that controller.
They made a trailer for the controller. What the fuck? That's funny. Camdat. What was that? Camdat. Those little letters on the controller. Dat. Let's go. Starfield headphones. More important than the game itself. Headphones almost always lose me because the thing is about those headphones with most collector's editions and stuff like that is they have like, they usually have terrible audio. They just look cool. That's about it. And I have no interest in getting headphones that look cool. I just want, obviously just want the audio, right? The audio quality.
In every one of our games, we always put so much care into all those little details that breathe life into our worlds. But Starfield isn't just a Bethesda Game Studios world, it's a Bethesda Game Studios galaxy. So why go this big with Starfield? Because we want to give you freedom on a galactic level.
Freedom!
The freedom to experience both the exciting planets and the quiet ones. Scanning a planet before you land is a great way to get a sneak peek at the available resources you can use for crafting, building, and customizing.
I think what's cool about this whole system that we
So it looked pretty bare. That's one of the many optional planets, right?
But the handcrafted content itself comes as the player explore.
But it doesn't look like it's completely
Player approaches it. We stitch
useless and
together
contorted
a lot of
looking.
terrain. After that, we have the system that adds interesting locations for the player to explore.
Which is what I think we all want to anticipate, right? That they go the quantity over quality approach with that stuff.
It allows us to add that touch of environmental storytelling that Bethesda is known for.
Like we're all expecting them to go that route, but
experiments.
I hope they're defying
Habitat
it.
isn't far from here. If you could take care of them for us, we would be in your debt.
So even if your friends were to visit the same planet that you had, you would have a different story to tell.
Oh, snap. That's actually sick. So it's a little more dynamic, right? Or like different things happening. Oh. Okay. Yeah, my major concern for this game, right, and a lot of other people's is are all these optional planets just going to be freaking rocks with like 2 things to pick up and that's it. Like extremely bare, right?
It's completely up to you how you want to interact with each planet. Whether you want to explore and see what you can find, harvest resources and be on your way, or simply take in the views.
Yeah, hopefully that's not all there is to do.
You'll chart the uncharted and discover exotic wildlife.
If you have the skills, you can even figure out that certain creatures and plants, you can build an outpost and produce resources.
This is
from
basically
those animals.
That's crazy about outposts.
Get experience and rewards for fully surveying planets and fully surveying a whole system.
This is basically No Man's Sky by Bethesda. This is exactly what this game is.
When we were concepting these creatures, we really wanted
And
to
hey,
think
that's
of them
cool.
as natural to the environment. We didn't want alien monsters. We wanted native wildlife. Something you've never seen before.
Creatures look kind of sick.
When it comes to our exteriors, when the sun moves, all that light is calculated in real time through the atmosphere. Our biggest goal for lighting with Starfield was to make the game feel more filmic, to use lighting and color to really make it feel more cinematic.
16 times the detail. But it does look rather lovely from what I'm seeing. I'll not lie. Ooh. Luminous caves. Yeah, they're really trying to emphasize how there's a lot of diversity and variety with, you know, everything that you can go through, all the different biomes, the planets. It's always really important, and I'm glad that they are, right? That's the main thing. And I like how they acknowledge the stuff that you can do on some of the smaller optional
After some
planets.
exploring, you can find a spot to set up a base camp. Outposts.
This is crazy. I can actually do this in this game.
Any planet.
I expected them to stop at like
all shapes and sizes.
at shipbuilding.
Different purposes. You can even live in them.
That's
Assign
crazy.
Crew and companions to work at your outposts for added bonuses, and set up extractors to harvest resources while you're away.
Wow.
Something cool we have this time is we have a new fly cam where you can toggle between on-foot building,
Actual base building in this.
top-down isometric camera, which helps plan
Lots
out
of
larger
customization
parts of
and
the
building
outpost,
shit.
placing
I
those
like
larger
it.
halves, so that way you can really plan your structures and what the overall.
There's literally shit you can build in No Man's
and then
Sky
when you're on
with.
your feet, you can really decorate.
At what point is there a
and
lawsuit?
things much easier.
Like those circular buildings and shit, what? I mean, I guess all lunar bases kind of do look like that. It's not something No Man's Sky invented. I'm stupid. But yeah, to say that there aren't any similarities would just be wrong. Gravely mistaken.
Add crafting and research stations in your outpost to utilize any resources you find or already have.
Dang.
Mod your weapons to adapt them to your playstyle. Different weapon sights and scopes, larger magazines, a selection of grips and barrels, different ammunition like explosive rounds.
All right, yeah. So here's all the stuff you can do with the weapons, modifications.
Surely need a suppressor.
Right, that's cool. You're
You can
sneaking.
also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
I was wondering, yeah, what are the melee weapons like?
I think it's always a delicate balance between like what's realistic, what's sim, and what's Hollywood. And I think we sort of err on the side of like what's fun for the player.
That's the most important thing.
We overhauled our combat. It's more dynamic, the animations are more fluid. It just feels great.
We probably have more mods and more weapons in this game than I want to say any other game we've done before. There's a lot of variety.
That's good. I hope they go more into the melee stuff.
Many factors to pay attention to when
Saw little
engaging
glimpses
in
of that.
combat. You may need to switch things up based on your environment.
Hey, 360 no
Gravity is different for
scoping.
each planet, and boost packs are
Sniping.
excellent for getting around. And for giving you an edge in combat.
Lots of verticality to it. Very dynamic, lots of verticality. You don't feel too tethered in this game, which I like. It's like very loose.
Zero-gravity environments pose a different challenge. Firing a ballistic weapon in zero-G will actually push you backwards.
Oh, no way.
Energy weapons, on the other hand, offer a more stable shooting experience.
So it's like flight kickback. Zero gravity kickback.
Electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays. Each barrel has its own targeting laser.
Dang.
And can dish out some serious damage. Whether you want to get up close and personal with your own two fists,
Kind of like a robo-dog there.
or you like more compact weapons like pistols and submachine guns.
Yeah, they've really outdone themselves with the weapon variety, it looks like. It's always nice to see. Yep, there's a classic minigun.
Starfield's got you covered.
Snap, son. I hope the game performs well. That's like, I like what I'm seeing. Sure, you have me kind of sold. I just hope it runs well. That's my major concern right now. Because for some reason I'm getting the impression that on day one this game gonna have problems. But I hope not. And Bethesda has a pretty bad track record when it comes to games being buggy and relatively unplayable. I'm hoping this game kind of like breaks away from that. I don't know, man. It's kind of also going into the realm of too good to be true. I really hope I can be excited for this game. Really want to be. And I'm inching more and more towards that, but I'm also like, I have this sense of kind of fear and anxiety too when it comes to it. Like, I'm anxious it's not going to be great. And I really want it to be great. I want this to be this amazing, ambitious game
Thanks again for being with us today.
that
We are just
really
so
offers you a wealth of
that you've taken the time
fun
and spent it
gameplay
here.
and
I know
adventure.
there was probably a lot to take in. There's a lot to the game, even more than we could show here. You know, as we play it, we're always sharing these unique and special moments that only a game like this can bring. When I think about what makes it special, it really is the people here. This game is a reflection of the incredible and passionate team that made it. All of them putting something special of themselves into it. So let's hear some of their favorite moments.
Yeah, this team really looks like they want to make the best game they can possibly make, the best game ever, right?
Of all the new tech
I do get that
to
impression.
create some of the most
I do.
beautiful sunsets and sunrises we've ever had in any of our games.
I love the creatures, the
That's
exploration.
always good to
every
see.
biome is different. The word that comes to mind is vast.
Yes,
I like
very
to use
vast.
our photo mode to take rock star photos.
Oh, cool. It comes with a photo mode.
I
Neat.
just love that constant feel of discovery and wow, I can't believe that there's more here.
I'm most excited about our outpost building systems.
My favorite part is every time you step out on a planet, it's a unique experience.
Huh. That definitely does seem to be the case. That's what they really emphasized.
On the landing pad, these things are gigantic. It's the kind of thing that you just can't get anywhere else.
There's something about seeing a tower over in the distance and going, I know the gravity's low here. I think I can make that jump.
My favorite part is biomes, spaceships,
audio design,
planets,
The day-night cycle, those details matter to me. Diplomacy, exploration, freedom,
the ending. Beskha.
The ending, okay. Yeah, they haven't spoken a whole lot about the story, like, understandably, but
Created sniper rifles, come on.
Lever action, rocket launcher.
I guess that's one of my biggest concerns. Hopefully the story is good, because they've not really...
Some people might find creepy. I don't know. I know it's right, Ben.
They really seem to have been putting their efforts into all the gameplay and world building stuff.
Is the freedom to be who you want to be, do what you want to do. It's what you've come to expect from a Bethesda title.
Like, I hope the
but on a
quest design
much
is fun,
bigger
the stories are good. Seems like there are a lot of places to go and a lot
On
of
behalf of all of us,
shooting
can't
to be
wait for
done.
you to play Starfield and make your own special moments.
Let's go.
So hopefully there's more to it than that with, you know, the characters and the story and that kind of thing. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be like any other Bethesda game when it comes to those aspects of it. Like, your main memories of the game are going to be the things you do in the open world as opposed to the story of it. Yeah, we'll see, man. This is shaping up to be kind of cool, kind of sick. That was a neat direct. I like how they gave us a lot of intel on this game and a lot more gameplay, and they really went in on it. Seems very expansive. Got a lot of answers to a lot of things. I like how they also acknowledged all the, like, side planets and the tiny planets, the optional ones, where, like, Todd mentioned in a previous interview or something like that, or a previous trailer or something, where they were going to have like 1,000 of them or some crazy number. I like how they kind of acknowledged slightly how they're gonna still offer you things to do that are interesting. So yeah, hoping for the best with this one. I'm definitely going to try it out. As someone who has played so many Bethesda games growing up, right, and Oblivion being one of my favorites of all time, and being, you know, a fan of the open world genre to an extent, Starfield is a game I'm definitely interested in checking out. And I hope that it can kind of like be a return to form in a way for Bethesda, right? That'll be very cool to see. And I hope it's a game everyone wants it to be, including me. This really epic space opera adventure, you know, where it feels like anything is possible. You can just do so much stuff that they've kind of been like advertising, and like the definitive space game, essentially. That's what I think we all want, is for it to be that definitive space game, proper space exploration and all this crazy epic stuff you can do up there in the great frontier. So yeah, we'll see, right? It's Bethesda, so anytime we've gotten to this point where if you see anything they put out and you get the feeling that it's too good to be true, more often than not, you're kind of justified in that. And I'm definitely getting that feeling again. Hopefully I'm not justified in that. I think that's what I'm going to say. But yeah, that was the Xbox event in Starfield Direct. And yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this in September. In the grand scheme of things, am more excited for this game than I was before, right? I will definitely admit. They showed off a lot of stuff that looked really cool. Of course, the biggest part of that trailer to me, kind of like the biggest thing they showed off, was how you can customize your ship, not only for aesthetic purposes, but also for gameplay, right? I think that was kind of huge. I think Starfield is shaping up to be not a complete dumpster fire. I mean, I don't think we ever thought it would be that, but I don't think we thought that it could be something truly special, and I hope it can be that. I think they're really kind of like hinting at that, and the team behind it seems really passionate, right? Of course, Todd is always a super passionate dude. He radiates a lot of that and a lot of enthusiasm for the stuff that Bethesda puts out, even if it's not the best stuff in the world by any means. Cough, cough, Fallout 76. But yeah, again, I think the customization stuff and the shipbuilding and all of that, the fact that it influences gameplay and the stuff you can do with like recruiting your crew and everything and choosing who you want to be in your crew. And they don't have to be like these special important characters you meet. They could literally just be these random NPCs who have more to them than what meets the eye, right? And you can get them into like your ship and various different configurations and stuff, depending on how you kind of like build it up. I think that's like actually really cool. And there seems to be a lot of depth to the building. So yeah, man, I'm actually kind of looking forward to this a lot more now.